At 70 years old, Elena James faced an experience that would forever change her life. Despite holding a valid first-class ticket, she was denied boarding by a dismissive and prejudiced flight attendant. Approaching the gate with confidence, Elena was ready to enjoy the comfort she had worked tirelessly to afford. However, the attendant barely acknowledged her presence and, with a condescending tone, remarked, "This is first-class boarding. You'll need to move to the back." The comment was not only dismissive but profoundly humiliating, made worse by the watchful eyes of other passengers. Elena, a seasoned professional who had overcome countless challenges throughout her life, was momentarily stunned by the blatant disregard for her dignity. She calmly explained that she had indeed purchased a first-class ticket, but her words were met with further dismissiveness. The attendant, showing blatant disrespect, insisted Elena move aside, making her feel small and unworthy. This public humiliation ignited a fire within her, driving Elena to take a stand against the injustice she faced, setting the stage for an extraordinary act of courage and resilience. Before diving deeper into the story, let us know where you're watching from. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell to stay connected with us. Elena James, a 70-year-old Black woman who had spent a lifetime overcoming challenges and breaking barriers, found herself in an unthinkable situation. As she approached the boarding gate for her first-class flight, armed with her valid ticket and ID, she encountered an attendant whose actions would leave her shaken to the core. Despite presenting her documentation, the attendant barely glanced at it before curtly dismissing her with the words, "This is first-class boarding. You'll need to go to the back." Stunned but composed, Elena calmly asserted her rights, explaining that she had purchased a first-class ticket and was entitled to board. Her voice was steady, embodying the quiet confidence of someone who had fought for her place in the world. However, her reasoned response was met with outright disdain. Rather than apologizing or correcting his mistake, the attendant's voice grew louder, further escalating the humiliation. Cutting through the murmurs of the boarding area, the attendant openly belittled her, saying, "Are you deaf, ma'am? First class is for people who actually deserve it. Move aside. You're holding up the line." The public humiliation was deeply wounding. Elena was no stranger to prejudice. She had faced both subtle and overt forms of discrimination throughout her life. But this was different. It wasn't just the disrespectful words. It was the implication that her age, appearance, or background somehow made her unworthy of occupying a space she had rightfully earned. The words stung, not because they diminished her sense of self, but because they reflected a broader systemic issue, one she was determined to confront. As other passengers watched in uncomfortable silence, Elena made a choice. She could have left quietly, internalizing the pain of the moment. But instead, she straightened her posture, a silent testament to her resilience. Though the attendant continued to dismiss her and insist she move aside, Elena knew this moment was bigger than herself. This was about standing against the entrenched biases that allowed such treatment to go unchecked. Though the confrontation left her humiliated, it also left her resolved. This wasn't going to end at the boarding gate. Elena silently vowed to turn her humiliation into action, setting the stage for a decision that would not only challenge the injustice she faced, but also inspire others to do the same. Elena James was determined to reclaim her dignity and challenge the discriminatory practices she had endured. The day after the humiliating incident, she walked into the sleek, glass-fronted headquarters of the airline, her resolve unwavering. The indignity she had suffered wasn't something she could simply let go, not just for herself, but for every individual who had faced similar prejudice. She wasn't there to complain, she was there to make a change. Dressed with quiet elegance and carrying herself with the poise of a seasoned professional, Elena approached the reception desk. "I need to speak with the CEO," she said, her voice calm yet resolute. The receptionist, momentarily taken aback by the directness of her request, asked if she had an appointment. Without missing a beat, Elena replied, "Yes, I do. I'm here with an important business proposition. I'll wait." As she settled into the lobby, Elena observed the hustle and bustle around her. Employees hurried past, engrossed in their tasks, oblivious to the presence of the woman who had come to alter the trajectory of their company. For Elena, this moment wasn't just about seeking justice for herself. It was about dismantling the systemic biases that allowed such discriminatory behavior to persist. Elena James was determined to challenge the systemic issues that allowed such behavior to persist. When the receptionist finally returned and escorted her to the CEO's office, Elena entered with quiet strength. She had no intention of pleading or making demands. Instead, she calmly set the stage for what would become a transformative moment. Elena wasn't looking for just an apology. She wanted to address the culture of disrespect that had wronged her and countless others. As she stepped into the CEO's office, she was met with polite yet dismissive indifference. The executive, engrossed in paperwork, barely looked up as he greeted her. Undeterred, Elena stood tall and got straight to the point. "I'll make this simple," she began. "Your airline has made it clear that people like me, despite having the means and the right, aren't welcome in first class. That's unacceptable. I'm here to change that, and my solution is simple. I want to buy your airline." The CEO froze, visibly taken aback. "Excuse me?" he asked, incredulous. "Do you even understand what you're asking? Buying a major airline isn't just a conversation, it's an impossibility for most." Elena met his gaze with unwavering confidence. Elena met the CEO's skepticism with unwavering resolve. "I'm not here to debate logistics," she said. "I've spent decades building my success, and I have the resources to make this happen. What I care about is addressing the systemic disrespect and prejudice your company perpetuates. This isn't just about me, it's about creating a culture where everyone is treated with dignity, regardless of their age, race, or appearance." The room grew tense as Elena outlined her vision for change. She presented documentation, proving she had already initiated the process to acquire a controlling stake in the airline. The CEO, stunned into silence, began to realize that Elena wasn't just another dissatisfied customer. She was a force of change, determined to turn her personal experience of injustice into an opportunity to transform an industry riddled with biases. Elena's bold proposal was more than a statement. It was a declaration of her power and mission to bring about lasting change. News of Elena James's audacious move spread like wildfire, quickly becoming a global sensation. Her decision to purchase the airline captured headlines and sparked widespread public applause, inspiring countless others to confront the systemic issues they faced. People were inspired by the story of a 70-year-old woman who turned an act of humiliation into a powerful stand against injustice. Elena's actions weren't just bold, they became a beacon of hope for anyone who had ever been dismissed, disrespected, or underestimated. Once the purchase was finalized, Elena wasted no time implementing changes. Her first act as the new owner was decisive. She terminated the employment of the attendant who had publicly humiliated her. While the move sent shockwaves through the airline's staff, it delivered a clear message: prejudice and disrespect would no longer be tolerated. Elena then shifted her focus to the bigger picture. She initiated a comprehensive overhaul of the airline's customer service policies, emphasizing the importance of fostering an environment of dignity and inclusivity for all passengers. Mandatory sensitivity training was introduced for every employee, from top executives to ground staff, ensuring that the company upheld its commitment to respect and fairness. Under Elena's leadership, the airline underwent a remarkable transformation, regaining public trust and admiration. Her story became a powerful symbol of resilience and justice, proving to the world that no one is too small or too old to make a difference. Through her courage and determination, Elena James not only reclaimed her dignity, but also redefined what it meant to stand against systemic injustice. Through her determination, Elena James built a legacy of respect that would endure for generations. As the new CEO, Elena made it clear that respect is earned through actions, not titles. Her leadership transformed the airline into a beacon of equality, fairness, and dignity, setting a new standard for how every passenger and employee should be treated. Elena's story is a powerful testament to resilience and the courage to stand against injustice. Her journey illustrates that even in the face of humiliation, we can transform pain into purpose and create meaningful change. The lesson is clear: Never let others dictate your worth or limit your potential. Stand up for what's right, fight for dignity, and inspire others to do the same. Let Elena's actions motivate you to challenge unfairness in your own life and community. Together, we can build a world where respect and equality prevail. If her story moved you, share it with others. It's time to spread the message that no act of discrimination should go unchallenged. Let's stand strong and make a difference.